Welcome back to Mets, Nets, Jets D podcast coming to you on a Friday, November 8th. It's time for week 11, stacks and picks. We're going to get back into it. This is a very juicy slate. We got some good news. One of maybe a all-star candidate, MVP candidate will be back this week in Patrick Mahomes. I just got a new report that he should play. But let's do a little deep dive on the favorite game stacks I love this week. We're gonna start over here. The first game I'm looking at, I'm not really feeling the Detroit Chicago game. David Montgomery is gonna be a higher owned running back going against that bad run defense in the Detroit Lions. Um, Obviously with Baltimore and Cincinnati, that's more one-sided. I don't really have anyone I would bring back on that Baltimore side, but Lamar Jackson obviously is a great play. This man is a one-man team. He can do it all himself with the rushing ability and the passing. The last time he faced Cincinnati in Week 6, 33.6 DK, over 100 yards rushing and a TD. So that's a guy you might want to pay for as well. But the first game stack I'm going to look into is going to be this Atlanta and New Orleans Saints division matchup in the Superdome. We're going to go first with Drew Brees, obviously. Alvin Kamara has just came out and said he doesn't mind splitting carries with Latavius Murray. So if you don't want to play Alvin Kamara, I mean, he's been out for a couple weeks, so he might not get his full workload. They're probably split it down the middle evenly anyway between him and Latavius Murray. So I don't know if you want to pay that 8,200. That's up to you. If he gets in the end zone, he might need to get in the end zone twice to meet that type of price. But obviously in a great matchup, Michael Thomas is a great option. You don't have to go with Alvin Kamara. You can mix it with different running backs. Michael Thomas is a great option, and of course, I love Ted Ginn. Has the ability to get deep on this Atlanta Falcons defense that has no secondary help nowhere in sight at all. Okay, this definitely is going to be a shootout in New Orleans. So if you want to go cheaper, because you got to pay for a lot of expensive guys, instead of going Drew Brees, Matt Ryan is back. Let me just type his name in correctly first. 6,100 Matt Ryan. You saving a little bit of money right there. You can go Julio Jones, or I like on the other side more. I like Calvin Ridley with the loss of Mohamed Sanu. There should be more targets, mostly for Calvin Ridley, because Sanu was one of those secure blanket slot wide receivers that was a go-to guy for Matt Ryan whenever they needed a first down. He's using Hooper a lot as well this year, but I think Calvin Ridley can have one of his breakout games against the New Orleans Saints. He won't be seeing Marcus Lattimore coverage, and he'll be probably going against PJ Williams. And that's pretty good for Calvin Ridley, who's yet to go off since week 2. All right, so we're just waiting. We're waiting, and he had to share the receiving tree with Mohamed Sanu. Now he's gone. Now it's just Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Austin Hooper, who's been a smash tight end all year long. If we just look at this number, it's just consistency from week 1 to week 8. He's another guy you can pay for at 5.5. But this is a game stack you gotta have in your lineups. Either you choose Matt Ryan or Drew Brees, or just make sure you have the studs in here. Michael Thomas and Calvin Ridley is going to be my favorite guy in this game. If you want to bring it back with the New Orleans stack, all right. No, I definitely don't want any Atlanta running backs. Freeman is a shell of himself, and this is not the type of matchup he'll take advantage of. Especially New Orleans Saints run defense is top 5 in the league. All right, we're gonna move on to the next game. I spoke about Atlanta and New Orleans. We're gonna move on to the Snoopy Bowl. We got two bad teams, two of the worst teams in the league right now, the New York Giants and the New York Jets. I have to speak about it because there's two bad defenses on both sides. So you can go Darnold or you can go Daniel Jones, or either or. It does not matter. Because both of these secondaries are horrible, and there's just no resistance. I think this game could be high scoring. Saquon Barkley, I don't know what's wrong with him. He hasn't gone off yet, but this is a matchup he can take advantage of. Uh, the Jets can stop the run. They're not that bad at stopping the run, but in the passing game, he's gonna light us up on fire. There's no linebackers in coverage that can handle Barkley, especially the screen game that they use him in. That's going to be a huge, huge weapon for the Giants against the New York Jets. As you see, he had 6 receptions last week, 8 the week prior. And then on week 7, he was just getting back from his ankle injury. So he's still getting acclimated 100%. Saquon Barkley is a great choice this week, I think so, against the Jets. If you want to play Le'Veon Bell, you can. He let me down last week. I thought he was going to go off, but he did have one of his better games in the year. But this man still hasn't even gone over 100 yards rushing. This line is putrid, so it's not even mainly his fault. It's the coaching staff, Adam Gase, and this line um, that McCagnon has left us and screwed us over. But that's our fault. That's Chris Johnson's fault. He didn't run the team the correct way. He fired McCagnon at the wrong time, and this is what you got to pay for it. We got to get through this year. All right, give Joe Douglas a chance next year. So, passing options I do like Golden Tate. Obviously, there is no Evan Ingram this week, and Sterling Shepard is still questionable. So, Golden Tate leaves is going to be a huge target for him. If you want to go cheap at tight end, Rhett Ellison has been doing fine. Well, against Arizona, but every other game you can probably skip him. Another wide receiver that I might like because he's one of the taller wide receivers. Darius Slayton has been up and down, but he is one of the red zone targets that Daniel Jones looks for. So I would mainly focus on Barkley, uh, Golden Tate, and Daniel Jones if you want the Giants, and if you want to bring it back, Jameson Crowder. Just getting a ton of targets each game. Last week, 9 targets, 8 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Just a great game by him. If you want to take a flyer on the deep guy, Robbie Anderson. It doesn't get every week I say this. It doesn't get better than this. You had your chance against Miami. That didn't work out. But you get another gift in the Giants. You might be going against either Jenkins or Baker, depending on where you line up. Robbie Anderson can burn both of those guys. He has the speed to do it. He's a good hit or miss option if you want to just throw him in the flex, salary saver type wide receiver just to fill out your lineup. Okay, and then last but not least, our main weapon. He should be clear for this week. Chris Herndon. We've been waiting all year for this guy. It's already week 10. You should have never had that freaking suspension in the first place, and then you had a hamstring injury. So finally, we get you back. We need you. So if Chris Herndon plays, he's going to take away from Crowder, I believe, because just a little bit, just because he's one of those safety blankets for Sam Darnold. You saw last year, Chris Herndon was an up and coming rookie tight end, and hopefully he can finish the rest of this season out strong. All right, so this is definitely a game you might want to have because these defenses are horrible, and that means points will be scored. Okay, so have both of these sides with the Giants and the Jets. We're going to move on to the next game. One of my favorites, Arizona Cardinals versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game is going to be a shootout, both sides. Like I said before, Tampa Bay, both of these teams have decent run defenses, but their pass D is on a whole nother level, and it's bad. Bad. So, Kyler Murray has the rushing upside, throws a ton of passes. As you can see, he's rushing 5 attempts, 2 attempts, 10, 11. It depends on the game flow, but he does have the ability to run and throw the ball into the end zone. You start your quarterbacks when they go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That 32nd ranking against quarterbacks is there for a reason. All right, so we've been waiting all year for this. I want this Kyler Murray with the Christian Kirk combo. Please, it has to come through. It has to. Um, Obviously against San Francisco 49ers, that's a tough matchup. Still got 5 targets in that matchup. But the week before against New Orleans Saints, 11 targets, 8 receptions, 79 yards. I want to see more of the same. You're going to probably see more of the same against Tampa Bay. And then I really don't want to touch the running backs. I just like these two. I really just like these two. Or if I'm making a lineup, I'll just throw Kirk. So if I'm just game stacking this, I would leave Kirk in there. I would go to James Winston, and then I would go to Chris Godwin. Mike Evans has been having his fun, but I think it's time for you gotta feed Godwin now. They've been going back and forth all year, so I think this is gonna be the Godwin game. Patrick Peterson will be on Mike Evans for this game, so even though that Patrick Peterson hasn't been 100%, he's still an elite corner, and probably will slow down Mike Evans, not totally shut him out. So that 12 for 180 can be Chris Godwin, uh, who's been doing that at the beginning of the season. He's had 10 for 151, 7 for 125, 2 TDs, 12 for 172, 2 TDs. Like, Chris Godwin's been a freaking monster this year. I think he gets back in the good graces of Jameis Winston. And if you want a real dart, now there's a flow chart here for tight ends. Okay, when you have a tight end and he's going against Arizona Cardinals week after week, you play that man. And they've been talking about, hey, we're going to get him the ball more, and he's got to get back healthy. OJ Howard, if you want to play him this one time, give him this one chance. As you can see, Arizona 32nd ranked against tight ends. If you want to give him one shot, he could win you $1 million or take you to the top. Because this is the best matchup, but I don't think no one's going to play him because he hasn't done anything all year. So, I'm taking the flyer out on him. Give me OJ Howard at tight end against Arizona because they are the worst against tight ends. And this is the stack I kind of like right here. I don't really care for David Johnson because he's going to be splitting carries with Kenyon Drake, and David Johnson's not even 100% back yet. He's going to be splitting carries with Kenyon Drake. They just traded for that man. And on the other side, Tampa Bay, Ronald Jones has been gifted the number 1 spot by his coach. No more Peyton Barber. He's going to be the lead back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He has been productive, 18-67 in the touchdown with 2 catches. He's just been more explosive out of the 2 running backs all year long, and they finally put confidence. Bruce Arians finally put confidence in Ronald Jones. Cheap guy, getting full workload, 4,300. That's not a bad deal. That is not a bad deal at all. If you need a punt running back that's going to get starter workload, Ronald Jones is definitely your guy, even though it's an ugly play. But I think he's shown it. He's shown it to be better, okay? Why not? If you need a punt guy, why not? 4,300 for a running back, go ahead. Going over to the next game. Let's see how many we have left in the stacks. Okay. I got 2 more. Out of these last 4 games. We're going with the Kansas City Chiefs against the Tennessee Titans. I want to pick on the Tennessee Titans. They have a good run defense, top 10 in DVOA. But that pass defense is 20th in DVOA. Against the pass, and I'm going to take advantage of Patrick Mahomes being back. Give me the connection between Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and give me Travis Kelce. Expensive stack, but something that can pay off dividends, and this can't be stopped. Once you get Patrick Mahomes back, you got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. You can't stop both. One of them is going to go off. Why not have both? That's what I say. So, In this case, if you want to bring it back, because Kansas City I see on offensive is a smash. Definitely have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They're going to throw it all over the Tennessee Titans with no Malcolm Butler. That is a huge loss. It's a Dory Jackson by himself, Byard by himself, but that's not enough to stop all these weapons that they have on the Kansas City Chiefs at all. So if I'm bringing it back, I'm thinking about Jonnu Smith maybe, or I like A.J. Brown. He's definitely an option for the Tennessee Titans. 4 for 81 against Carolina, 7 targets. Ryan Tannehill was featuring him a lot. Let's see if Corey Davis had more. He's questionable right now. He missed practice, so if he's all alone, A.J. Brown is going to be the guy. Yeah. So as you saw against Carolina, 4 for 48, 5 targets. A.J. Brown's going to be the guy this week, most likely, him and Jonnu Smith. I prefer A.J. Brown against this defense in Kansas City, but take advantage of this. You're not going to get these guys at a cheaper price, especially if they go off this week. And you don't want to miss out on a Patrick Mahomes blow-up spot. Not at all. You really don't. And then my last but not least stack is going to be in this Indianapolis versus Miami game. I love Marlon Mack. He's going to be one of my. I might lock him in. The thing about the Colts, they have an elite offensive line, and the fact that Marlon Mack hasn't gone off since week 1 or week 5 against KC, but he's getting 20 plus touches, and against Miami's run defense, that's a joke. This man should have a minimum of 150 yards rushing. With that type of line and the type of running back he is, this man's a monster. And the fact that they're going to be leaning on leaning on the run, since Brian Hoyer is going to be the starting quarterback. Brissett's probably not going to play. Give me Marlon Mack to finish it off. Brian Hoyer even came in through 3 TDs against Pittsburgh, who's been playing very good defense. So I like this stack right here. Brian Hoyer, Marlon Mack, and then with no T.Y. Hilton, Zach Pascal has been the number 1 guy. So as you can see, week 9, 18.6, that's without T.Y. Hilton. And then against Houston without T.Y. Hilton, 31.6. So that's the type of upside that you're going to see with Zach Pascal with T.Y. Hilton out. In that middle, you see that 1.6, that's when T.Y. Hilton was playing. So he's the number 1 guy now, Zach Pascal. He's going to be getting all the targets and the love, especially in the red zone. This is going to be a lower owned stack right here, and it's going to pay off, especially against this Miami defense that has no answers for anything. And if you want to bring it back, we're going Devontae Parker. And then I will call it a day with this stack right here. And I think I'm going to have a lot of this. I think this is going to be something that you might see at the top of the leaderboards this week. This Indianapolis Colts stack against the worst defense in the league. Everyone's going to be focused on Arizona, Tampa Bay, or the New Orleans Saints against Atlanta Falcons. But this one right here, lower owned, can bring the same amount of explosiveness, and you can pay up for the higher price guys that you need in the other games. Okay, so you could throw a Chris Godwin in here, okay, or you could throw a Travis Kelce in here. You can have both. And this is going to be I like this one. This is one of my favorite ones right here. So that's all I have for you guys. Let's go over the stacks one more time. I spoke about, obviously I like Lamar Jackson. I spoke about Atlanta and the Saints. Jets Giants is going to be a high scoring shit fest. And the Arizona Cardinals against Tampa Bay. Don't forget about Patrick Mahomes going against the Tennessee bad pass defense. And then a sneaky one, but yet good, a Miami, the Indianapolis Colts stack against the Miami Dolphins. All right, Brian Hoyer, Marlon Mack, and Zach Pascal. That trio, I think, will be very good this week. Please follow me on Instagram at MessNetSD and Twitter at the same title, MessNetSD. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. We have 87, I believe, subscribers right now. Push that to 90. I'm going to keep begging you. Let's go. Let's get it to 90. I'm trying to reach milestones and goals. let's push it. So I'm gonna keep pushing out this content. You're gonna keep hitting that subscribe button. All right. So I appreciate you guys. Don't forget rundfs.com. Get connected. Go to that website right now. Gundacker runs that website and has a great platform and product. So when you sign up at rundfs.com, you get in that Discord chat. You get the ability to talk to me and him and other people that really know what they're talking about. So go to rundfs.com right now. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for listening. And I'll catch you in a few days, probably for that Monday night showdown. But peace out, guys, and good luck.